Welcome to the hottest real estate topics on the planet, keeping you up to date with all the creative ways to buy and sell real estate without bank qualifying, so anyone can build real income starting today. Here is another great show with Dealmaker Bill and Pete the Rookie.
All right, here we are at another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies.
Woohoo!
Welcome all rookies.
Yes. If you're an expert,
And-
just, take a back seat.
I'm confused, actually. I'm still confused about this. I didn't realize this. We kind of got off of this tangent for a little while, but, I'm like a dog with a bone on some things, So Pete's the rookie. What's Naomi?
Rookette.
Rookette. Oh.
There's Rockettes, there's Rookettes.
Rookettes and Rockettes and Rookettes.
Yeah, rookies. That's
He's
a
thought
female.
about this.
That's female.
He's-
Yeah, but Rookette doesn't exactly
it doesn't-
match Naomi.
It
Well,
doesn't,
not her, but in general. Well, she
But
has to
I
be like
think-
Rookette, like class 4.
I think rookie is unisex, though.
See?
I believe it's unisex.
I knew this was going to come about. See, I hope I don't hurt her feelings right now, but she'll get over it. Naomi's like
Lord.
a guy in a girl's body, She's pretty tough. I don't think she wants to be called a Rookette.
Is that the best of both worlds, Bill?
I don't know. Well, let's hear what she has to say. Maybe she could tell us that that's not true. No, I like being called a Rookette.
No, you completely.
It's
I
not
don't
you,
like
right?
being called a rookette.
You want to be a proette.
That's an interesting word, Pete.
Proette.
Well, I'm a certified super literate.
Oh.
So at any
So I
rate,
can
what
make
is-
up words.
What is this podcast about?
Let's change the subject, Bill. I don't want it to be on me anymore. Episode number 108. I thought we were on 107, but Emma corrected me this morning. No, Dad, we're on 108, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 107 last week, Bill.
Obviously, I wasn't
So
here.
you remember it too, huh? You remember as good as I do.
All right, title, you ready?
Yes.
Do you have these creative real estate investor qualities?
Oh, a positive title.
That is to say the others were negative?
Well, sometimes like the real estate mafia, that's like,
Hey.
wow, bang.
Hey, I want you to know, this is really true. I have not been going to the smoke shop because, I got stuff going on with my wife being ill and blah, 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 all this stuff, right? So I haven't been going to the smoke shop.
I was wondering about that. You've been
So-
smelling pretty good lately, Bill.
Yeah? Oh, boy. In other words, I don't have to stink like a cigar?
Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
We haven't been having to bring our air purifiers with us.
Yeah.
We're maskless.
Maskless. Oh, my God.
That's another
No
interesting
ventilators.
Oh my gosh.
So I stopped by the other night because my buddy was there and he wanted to talk to me, like calling me up. Hey, where you been? Right? So I'll have you know it's 100% official now. I did a live demonstration with all of my cigar buddies about the real estate mafia. And I've been getting texts. I've been getting responses.
Wow.
That was the best thing I ever heard in a long time.
Well, you videoed it and you posted it?
No, I didn't
What?
do anything. I just gave it to
You
them
just-
live while we're smoking a cigar because they got on some rant about real estate. I'm like, don't get me started. And they're like, what do you mean? And I said, well,
Too late.
there
Are
we go. I was right into it. Real estate mafia. They're like, what the hell are you talking about, Bill? And I went through the whole thing.
Are you telling me that you've been smoking with them for all these years and they didn't really quite know what you did?
No,
Naomi,
they know what I do.
Naomi,
but
he goes to
not
he
quite.
goes to the cigar shop to rest.
Yes. I go there to watch all the little, weirdo guys do all their stuff, and I just kind of chill out. It's actually not that way now because a lot of those guys have gone during the renovation. They kind of went on to other things, but we're not here to talk about cigars. Shucks. Went to the owl shop with one of my clients with Tim.
Oh, the owl
coaching
shop in
owl.
New Haven.
You're into owls
Tim,
too, huh?
Tim and I went to the owl
Wow.
shop. We were there for, we were supposed to go for an hour, and I think we spent 4. We didn't spend $10. We spent much more than that. Yeah, it was.
Well, that's a cigar
and
an
you
hour.
didn't let me know you were there. I was probably 5 minutes away.
Oh, and you're going to come to the owl shop?
Well, maybe for 15
Bill,
minutes.
Bill, she's a man in a girl's body.
Really?
She's a man in a
Yeah,
girl's
but
body.
she doesn't like smoke.
I've been to the owl shop several times.
Yeah? Oh, wait till I tell Tim we missed out on that. We could have done that. I didn't know that was an option.
I'm so disappointed.
Women. That's all I could
You
say.
can't figure
Women.
'em out.
I don't know. Just when you think you
can't-
got it figured out, Bam. Right? All right.
All right.
So, do you have these creative real estate investor qualities? Have you ever questioned, like most real estate investors do, if you have what it takes to consistently turn houses into cash?
Silence.
Peter?
I can turn houses into bills.
Expenses. In this podcast, and this podcast is totally for you. Okay? And I wrote this for Peter. This is like,
Wow.
This is totally your show,
Yeah,
Peter.
that means I did something wrong.
No. You're going to like this show. I think you're really going to like this. I think you're going to get excited. So this exact episode will give you the precise proof whether or not you should be or pursue, because some people don't know if they should do it, right? So this exact episode will give you the precise proof whether or not you should be or pursue real estate investing. If you're struggling with investing profits and feel you have tried everything imaginable, including using coaches and mentors, and you still haven't packed your bank account full, then you're about to hear what you've been waiting for your whole real estate investing career. How's that, Peter?
I'm listening.
This is
Yeah.
a great show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
those things too every other day. Should I do this? Should I not do this?
Right.
Not
Well, I've been
really.
doing it 15 years, and I still question on whether I should do it or not.
And then I go, what other choice do I have? Okay, I'll keep going.
Exactly.
best game in town. Best shot at it. It's
Okay.
like, seriously, like I could do this, I could do that. And when I was looking at my options, I said, well, I'm not sure if that works. Do such and such. Well, I'm not sure if I can make that work. Houses. Well, houses sell every day. People do it. I guess I can do it. It's not like, I wonder if it'll sell. I wonder if I can buy one. It happens every day, thousands of times. So it's a kind of no-brainer. Just don't do it wrong.
Oh wow.
A little Petism in the back of that.
There's a
right?
lot
On the
packed
tail end
into
of
that, like last three
he
words
tailed
there.
off into a Petism. Just don't do it wrong.
Wow. That's why people are watching this show now.
All right, so let's do the real estate investor test.
Okay.
So I promised right away, do you have these creative real estate investor qualities?
Yeah, I want to see what those are.
So let's find out first. Okay.
Yep.
And then
Yep,
we'll
yep.
continue.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
So you ready?
Oh, yeah.
First question, and it's not necessarily to you guys, because I don't even know the answers to these, to be honest with you. Do you have a high... Peter's like laughing. Do you have a high 700 credit score?
I used to before I got into real estate.
So you don't.
I don't.
Perfect. You passed. Now we're like, this is about how to be a creative real estate investor,
Creative.
right? Okay, so
Forces
you don't.
you to be creative.
Do you have one?
No.
No. Perfect.
So perfect. I
You
passed.
passed. Good. So you got your first check mark on being a creative investor. Okay.
Mhm.
Second question. Do you have 20% or more for the down payment ready to go?
No.
Not anymore, man.
You passed. You're doing good so far. You're getting 100%. Okay.
See, this seems to be backwards in a positive way.
That's right.
We know how
It
to
did-
make the negative positive.
I
That's
I
what this is all
actually would have
about.
bet yesterday when I wrote this. I put in my head, I'm like, Peter will get to 3 before he said that. You beat me to it.
Yeah. I've been around too long with you.
Yeah. Number 3.
I should have seen this coming,
Yeah.
not just after 2.
Right. Do you have 5 or 6 hours per day for the MLS to find deals?
Yeah. Preferably not.
Do you have it? He said preferably not. I'm nailing him here because if
Ooh.
he's got 5 or 6 hours a day, Naomi.
Here's where I'm sinking. I'm sinking bad. So
Do you?
yeah. I just fell off the boat.
So I got a question for Naomi. Do you have 5 or 6 minutes?
5 or 6 minutes I can do. I can
Naomi,
do.
I can't even get on the phone
I'll have
sometimes.
you know, I made a phone call last night.
You did.
I
Is
did.
that right, Pete?
I cleaned up my office. I got all my folders out. What's this one? What's that one? In progress. That's the good one. Follow up. No, throw those away. Okay. And I made a phone call.
To a prospect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was perfect. The line was busy and I was done.
I've got 11 deals on my desk I need to call. And out of those 11 deals, I think I could probably make 3 or 4 of them. So there's my situation.
Yeah.
All right. So So, do you have 5 or 6 hours per day for the MLS to find deals? It's a no. You both pass. So far, you guys are getting 100%.
Oh, I
100%
thought I was
score.
off the boat. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're 100% on the
Bill,
score.
It's kind of strange. It seems like it's the opposite of what you would expect.
Exactly.
How could that be that the opposite of what you expect is what actually works?
Exactly.
And what you think works doesn't work, which is why it hasn't been working.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow,
Next one.
This is so deep.
Number 4. Have you spent $30,000 to $50,000 on your flipping houses training?
No.
No, Peter.
No, except for in time spent with you.
Well, yeah, but you made that much money with me.
No, I'm telling you, time with you, not cash.
So
outlay.
neither of you spent $30,000 to $50,000. Guess what?
We passed.
You passed.
We passed.
Woohoo!
Yay! You got
We can-
100%. We're on number 4, and you're 100% on the score. So far, you're doing good.
I feel like I'm doing all the wrong things right.
Number 5. Did you quit your full-time job so you can be a full-time investor?
Now, I'm not sure on this question because I know somebody who did and did quite well on this one, Bill.
Yeah, who's that?
Randy?
Oh. No, she had quit her job before me.
Huh?
She quit her job before me.
Yeah.
But
She quit, but
Yep.
she was smart to grab you fast.
Oh yeah.
but here's the point. Did you quit your full-time job? Out of all the people that we know, she's the only one.
Mm.
Did you
So
quit your
most
full-time
people-
job?
Or business? No.
No.
No,
I
but
mean,
she also has a
Did you
husband.
quit your
Granted, my-
full-time job or your business?
Right.
No. Lucky me, I have a kind of a part-time job of life, so I have some time to work on. But yeah, and she has her husband working.
Okay, so it's a better question. Did you cut your income, your regular steady income, to do this?
Heck no.
Did you?
No. No.
Okay, good. So you passed. You didn't cut your regular income, whether it's a job or your business or whatever, to go do real estate.
We can go to the next section
So
because apparently
if
we're good
we
at all
pass,
this.
Peter wants to skip ahead on the exam.
No, we're done.
Mr. Super illiterate over here.
Done.
No wonder why he's super illiterate. He skips all the test questions.
Yeah, I go, got him. Next, give me something I can't do. Come on.
see, there's a point to this, Pete. It's to show people that anybody with those criteria
Yeah.
can become a real estate investor.
Well, the
So
punchline's
there's
going
only-
to come in a couple minutes, but you're
Oh.
you're very
The end
close.
of the
There I
the
go.
end. Thank you for
Cutting
listening.
to the
Said that. Number 6.
We're gonna make some phone calls now.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing.
Bill,
making phone
Bill,
calls.
I
that have
swear to
people listening
God,
to
next
us.
week, if you don't have those calls made, the show is gonna be watch Bill make phone calls.
What, you think I haven't done that before?
I think it's
All right,
time to
number
do it again.
6. Number 6, and this is for you, Peter. This is for you. This came from you. Okay, you ready? Have you built your dream team? Do you have your closing agent? Do you have your attorney? Do you have your money guy? Do you have your realtor, your insurance guy? Do you have your title searcher? Do you have your contractors, assistant, marketing person? Do you have all that?
Well, in the beginning, no.
Ah.
But
In the
now
beginning, no.
you sort of do.
At this
but
point, mostly, yeah.
Because we work together.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you have
Because
it?
we've done some
pretty
stuff.
pretty close. But I
But
mean,
did you do that before you started doing deals?
No, it just happened because when you have a deal,
Yeah.
then you naturally pull together that team.
So before you have a deal, do you need to do all this?
No, don't
Okay.
waste your time. Get
So
the
you
deal
guys-
first. Don't
you-
waste other people's time.
Peter, you are super literate.
I'm
You
so-
got 100% on my test.
It's the only way I do them, Bill.
Huh?
It's the only way I do them.
All right. So, if you're like Peter and Naomi and you said no to all these or any of these, then you have become a perfect candidate for a qualified creative investor.
Absolutely.
I think you just empowered a lot of people.
Well,
Because we're going to talk about why in a minute, but go ahead.
Well, the whole point is creative. Why creative? Because you don't have all the resources and money to burn, just like, a big fat cigar. Oh, give me that, give me that.
Right.
So you have to be creative.
Right.
And if you're creative, you're being probably smarter to work a deal very cleverly for everybody involved instead of just throwing money at it.
But here's the other thing too. Even if people do have all of those resources and all the time in the world and on it goes, you still want to take the attributes and the qualities of somebody as if you didn't.
Yeah.
It's just going to be much cleaner. And we've spoken about that on previous
Leaner.
shows.
Leaner and cleaner.
Cleaner and clean.
Yeah.
So I want to change my name.
Which one?
Well, I've been called the $100 bill didn't stick.
I liked that one. That was so good.
Yeah, but
Where-
that's
where did- where
I
did you
didn't.
get
I
that
didn't.
one?
I don't know.
So
it
let's hear
just
the new
came in.
one.
Well, actually, it's not even a name. What I want to be known for, and I'm dead serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came up with this podcast, I thought to myself, when they put me under the grass,
Let me guess.
what?
It's going to say William H. Hawthorne. H.
Yeah, H for Herbert.
Herbert.
William Herbert, get over
Yeah,
here.
he still hears
That's my
mom
mother.
yelling at him. Dealologist.
That is correct. But what I want to be known for at the wake, I want to be known for the guy that created that made the most amount of creative real estate investors.
Investors.
So I want to be the creative real estate investor maker. I want to teach as many people how to be creative real estate investors. And the only one that I have to watch out for, because he's way ahead of me, but he's older than dirt, is Ron LeGrand. And I hope he's listening to this, because he'll laugh his ass off.
Send it to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's way ahead. He's actually doing that.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
But if I had a mentor on how to do it, it would be him, because he's made a lot of millionaires.
Yeah.
You know, he's a Dan Kennedy disciple, and he's known for when he goes to Dan Kennedy seminars. Before he even finishes a seminar, he's out back on the telephone calling his staff, telling them what to do in the seminar.
Wow. I'd be curious to know when you read about his life. He went to some real estate seminar some weekend, had to borrow money for. Oh, do you know who that was or what it was?
No,
I'd be curious, like
he never says.
Which
yeah,
seminar that was.
Who started him off?
You
like
know,
that?
maybe you should write him and ask him.
Dear Ron. Oh.
I mean, truly, it's an idea.
I was
I bet he's
living
neat.
in Dunedin, Florida for a while, and I went to a couple RIAs, and there they were saying that they were his mentor when he first started. They were his realtor, and they were his the guys in this. Actually, it wasn't in Dunedin.
It's a little far away from Jacksonville, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if they were bullshitting, but who knows?
Florida. We did it.
Yeah. Back then, Florida, when he started, Florida was still swamps. Now at least they got buildings there. All right. So I guess we have nothing else to talk about.
The end?
We can find a lot of things. Are you kidding?
right,
It'll
good.
go like this. What happened yesterday?
So
And
let's
there's a
talk
story.
about yeah.
There's a
Oh,
whole
no,
show.
my God.
But
Let's put it this way. I know that we could make an hour show. When I left the house this morning at 8:15 to go buy ink for my printer because the service did something. I did something wrong with the service that's supposed to deliver ink.
Oh.
And the half hour worth of phone calls that I made between here and Staples and back, that would make a whole show in itself.
Jeez.
Yeah. Getting these guys to get their work done and pricing. And I got a student that bought a house and actually found, when he was in the backyard, found a bumper to a car and went to pull on it and realized there's still a car. So somebody buried a car in the backyard. So he called me and wanted to know, who do I get? And I know this guy that's like 80-something years old, and he has a couple bulldozers, and he's been and it was just hysterical. It was a
I would
funny ass
I would suggest
conversation.
more dirt.
Yeah, no, he's gonna pull it out. You want to play if you know it's there. I don't want to worry about. If somebody else finds it, it'll turn into like environmental issues, and people are pretty weird
Wow.
today.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the conversations I had
Really,
this
a
morning.
bumper sticking? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
right. But I think, to touch base back on what you were saying and people being empowered. So from the criteria that you gave,
Naomi's reeling us back in.
pretty much
She got a new
I
job.
mean almost everybody is qualified to be a real estate investor.
Yes.
And anybody can do it. But then it gets to, as we all know, a whole different level of the mental game.
Right.
And the perseverance. And when you're making those phone calls to people just to get it started,
Right.
and people are saying no, we don't want to do this, but then there will be that person that'll say yes. And what advice would the two of you
So
give?
I am, now that you've been Miss Liberal over here and all nice and passive and nice and sweetie, which is very awesome because we need that in this world, I'm going to pull a bill. I'm totally going to pull a bill. You ready?
Go ahead.
Who made these rules?
The real estate mafia.
The real estate mafia. Yeah.
Guido.
Which, by the way, I was kind of picking on you there. You are 100% correct. 100%. If your mindset is not right, you know, it used to be before you came around, I would just blurt out, well, if you have any balls, you can do this. But now, obviously, we have women in the room, and I can't say that no more because you got it. So it's got to be like, if you have nerve and stamina. I mean, remember we had a show one time. God knows what show it is. I mean, it's so far back. But
53.
Yeah, okay. Don't tell them that. They'll go look. You. I can look it up, but it's not worth it. And we talked about being stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Being stubborn. How stubborn do you have to be in this business? And then Peter, that's where Peter started talking about, you know, you work for a week, you don't get a paycheck. You work for another week, you don't get a paycheck. You work for a month, you don't get a paycheck.
Yeah. How long do you keep showing up?
How long do you keep showing up? Right?
Exactly.
And that's just plain old stubborn. You know that it's going to work and you're going to keep trying. Em and I are working on some marketing stuff, and it's like I'm pulling my hair out, man. I every morning I start with, I want to put a gun in my mouth. It's like, I'm like, this is pissing me off. I mean, I've hired consultants. It's like a little bugaboo that I can't get through. You know, like this certain funnel we're using and all this stuff. It's just, I can't get it off my mind. That's all I think about.
Right.
Right. And it's
but you have that end goal.
Non-productive, energy-sucking crap in my mind. Mm-hmm. But I can't I'm stubborn. I won't let go.
And you're going to persevere. You're going to find that solution because you see it, the end result. And so.
What? Well, wait a second. Let's clarify what you're saying there. No, I see others doing it, so I know it's possible.
Right.
That's the problem. Is I see others doing it, so I know it's possible.
Right.
Bill says,
and
why not me?
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is people, humanity has gone and done things that nobody ever saw before.
Right.
But they persevered and they knew somehow it was possible, even though everybody told them it was impossible.
Right.
So here in the real estate world, to touch back on what you were saying, Pete, earlier, you see people doing it. So it's possible. Another human being did it. You can do it. But sometimes people still second guess themselves and kind of like, how do you set your day so that when that time comes, when you have that extra 20 minutes.
Second guess yourself. I've got 7 houses right now, and I'm thinking to myself, should I be doing this? Because things are a little sticky right now. They're a little stuck. Right. I mean, and for all intensive purposes, I did this drill the other day. And I can't believe I'm going to say this on the radio, but I'm holding almost $2 million worth of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
That
you need to get turned over.
I'm holding. Do you know what that means? Electric bills and mortgages.
Sure.
I'm holding almost $2 million that is doing nothing right now. And it's and so after 15 years, and it's just because, you know, again, my wife was ill, and I kind of most of July I didn't. You know, it's my own fault. It's not. It's just life.
See, and the thing is everybody is going to have those issues, life coming in. But just like I've used this example so many times, like if you miss a shower, does that mean you don't take a shower the next day or the next week, whatever your schedule is? Does that mean you get discouraged and you stop taking showers? Like, oh, I missed a shower. Same thing with life. So you had some life challenges come up. Does that mean that you get discouraged and, oh, I guess I'm just not going to do this anymore? It's like, no, you persevere through.
I think the most important thing you ever said, and then I want to move on. I think the most important thing you ever said to me once, I don't remember where we were, what we were doing, but you were like, Bill, if you eat some food and it makes your stomach bad and you get sick, does that mean you won't eat food again? I don't know if you remember saying that.
Yeah.
But we were in the car one time or something, and it's like, holy shit, that's profound.
Yeah.
So if you eat some food and it makes you ill, does that mean you won't eat food ever again?
Exactly.
And that's, like, to me, the perfect analogy.
Exactly. And that's the same concept. Just because something messes up, does that mean you're not going to do it again?
Right.
When you know that it works, there's proven examples that it works.
Right.
Well, the way to get around that is to realize if you stop eating food, that would be a gross generalization.
Right.
Correct? That's the problem, gross generalization.
Right.
So in this particular field, when you have a problem with real estate, something not selling or something not fixing, you get very, very specific.
Dive into the details.
Detail specific, fix the exact point, figure it out somehow, fix it, and win.
Exactly.
Win.
That happened to one of my coaching clients the other day. He had an offer. He's fairly new. He was, blah, 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 blah. And come to find out, when he made the offer, he sent in the wrong form.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to do a subject to deal in making an offer. I mean, it looked like to the lawyers, which the lawyers don't know the difference, but it looked like to the lawyer he was making an owner finance deal. So his language talked about owner financing. The lawyer's looking at it knowing that his client has a mortgage, and he's like, this isn't going to work. So he told the client, no, don't do this. This is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? It was the way the guy presented it, just like you're talking about. But it was until we dug into the details when I realized what he had done.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the takeaway from this, so it's very, very clear. This is how I try to live my life, and I know you do, and you probably do too. When you have a problem, you can go, oh, that sucks, and I don't want to do it anymore, or get very specific, find the actual problem to be pissed off at, fix that,
Right.
and then win and look around. Everything is okay.
So I want to do that right now.
Okay.
I want to do that right now.
Okay.
I didn't know you were going to say that, but I'm going to.
On the spot
take
therapy.
the opportunity. I want to do that right now.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to the show. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
These rules, you have to have a 700 credit score, 20% down. You got to find them on the MLS, right? You got to quit your job to be a full-time realtor, right? And you got to build your dream team. Who made those rules?
Seminar people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Real estate investors.
I think the rules are coming from the people that benefit the most. Follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money. So who are they? It's your realtor or the realtor industry, not your
Right.
realtor specifically. The realtor industry. It's the banker. It's the attorney or the closing agent, right? It's the insurance guy, the title guy, right? These people get paid at the closing for their fees.
Right. It's more than that, though. How many people have we spoken to that have paid $30,000 to $40,000 or more for
Yep.
their education? And you even, Pete, went to a seminar where you walked away completely confused.
Yep.
And so, I think there's a lot of investors out there that they know it's simple, but they also know this, a lot of details.
Right.
So they'll pull people in and, pay me $5,000 or whatever it
Yep.
is. And they will so overwhelm you that it sort of knocks you out of the competition.
Right.
So it's like they're making money from you and,
Right.
wheeling you into the seminar, and then boom, they knock you out of the competition because
Right.
you're just overwhelmed. And most people, 99.95% do not have the stamina
Yep.
to persevere.
And I don't think they're not doing it on purpose. I'm just going to say blatantly that these guys are not trained educators. Very few people are trained educators, musician teachers all over the place,
Right.
teachers in schools. They just teach horribly. So they just spew everything out and think they're teaching when they have to get it in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why I work with Bill.
Right.
Because it's not just, here's everything. You feel educated? I go to some of these websites that I belonged to, and you look for the information. There's this list like this. Where do I start? And it's not organized. It's not like this. It's like a straight line, but it's not in sequence. You look at it, holy crap.
So I'm putting a stake in the ground.
Okay.
Putting a stake in the ground. Here's how it is. Point blank. If they have rules, and I never swear on this show.
Just say the
Everybody
first
plug.
letter.
Fuck them. I'm making my own rules.
Them.
And don't worry about making that the click on there about if this is profanity or not. Well, they'll get over it, okay? That's
Kids
what
don't
I
listen
say.
to this stuff.
There's a
That's what I
a
say.
great book called How to Not Give a Fuck.
I got to read that book.
Oh, boy, I
Yeah.
feel like I have to say it too to be in the group here.
Wait a minute. Did they write
So
that
you
book
can just
after
say the
me?
word and then you'll be in.
I'll wait for an opportune
So
time.
Peter and I have been working on a book, which is almost done.
Does it-
Did you know this?
I
We
knew
haven't-
this.
oh, you
I
knew
knew
this,
this.
okay.
Yes.
The name of the book so far is called The Best Real Estate Investor Rules, so you do the right things in every deal and don't lose. So far I'm up to about 60 rules. So we know what their rules are, so I thought we would take an opportunity based on what we're talking about here and just go through the book, because it's not printed yet. It will be printed very soon, I hope. Okay, and you will have access to it. Everybody will have access to it.
Nice.
So I wanted to cover some of the rules. So if they have rules,
We have rules.
and we're gonna make them. This kind of falls into the association thing that
Yeah.
we've been talking about. Like, we have to have some standardization
Yes. Yes.
in this industry because we don't have that. So we're going to start with the
No.
rules. We'll start with the rules. Okay. So these are rules based on not only my experience, but Peter's experience, as well as some of our mentors and other people. I could tell you a lot of it is just from working with so many clients and buying so many houses. They're just standard things that are just observations that are true.
Sure.
Okay. In fact, I wrote in the beginning of the book, let me see here. So they're really, I call them rules, but really they're maxims, which are a short, concise, and forcefully expressive statement eloquently telling a general truth or rule of conduct. A maxim is just something that happens, and it's a short statement that explained what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But like gravity,
Mm-hmm.
that's like it happens. That's more of an axiom, but
Yeah.
but a maxim is like gravity. The word gravity is actually a maxim because it's like it just says what it is. It's just a short statement saying this is what it is. You don't have to explain it. It is. It's real.
And it should
it's
be
physical.
It should be obvious.
Yeah.
And when somebody says it, it's obvious. But if you haven't heard it, it might not be obvious. You might not be following it. You might be doing some other crazy thing.
And
Right.
even if you have heard it, information gets distorted over time. In fact, the way the mind stores information, like say if I ask you what you had for breakfast yesterday,
Right.
it will pull out that memory and you'll relay it to me, and then it restores it but as a modified version.
Right.
And so then the next day you ask the same question. Now you're pulling up the modified version, you're relaying it, and as time goes on, it's like the modified version of the modified version. This is why some therapy happens this way over traumatic experiences, because then what was traumatic was not so traumatic.
Right.
But the whole point of that statement is to always be refreshing on the rules. You
Right.
need to go back to that, you
Right.
know.
Exactly. So, so anyways, let's just cover some of them. Okay. So rule number 2, I'm not going to read all of them because there's 60 of them. It would take us forever. It took us hours the other day to do it, right? To read through them. So rule number 2, all right? Always have lots of leads. Scarcity is the worst thing for anyone. So really what scarcity is, and we're not going to cover these in great detail. I'm just going to cover them in today's show because we only have not much time left today. You can get all these in the book. They'll be there. I think the book is going to be free. You just pay for shipping when I get ready, but we haven't fully decided that.
Hey, Bill, what's the next step?
Put it on Amazon.
I have to finish writing what's in my little notebook here onto the page so we can keep going. Yeah, on Amazon, yeah. So scarcity, really what scarcity is somebody believes that they can't create something, right? So like for example, my in-laws are with me because they've been helping me with my wife, and my father-in-law has this tremendous scarcity mentality, and it's because he's 80 years old and he's got whatever money he's got, and he's got quite a bit of it, but whatever money he's got, it's all negative. He can't replace it. He doesn't know how to replace it. He doesn't know how to create that new money because he's 80 years old.
Just dribbling away.
Yeah. So in his mind, it drives him crazy because, he's got money in the stock market, but that goes up and down and it's not reliable. Right. So that's what happens with a lot of our sellers. I mean, a lot of our investors that are trying to get in is they don't know how to create money using the systems we're using. And it gets very agitating to them because they come in and they have misunderstandings or they don't duplicate something correctly. They test it. They don't realize they misduplicated or don't understand it. And they say, oh, that doesn't work. And they move on. Right? So so scarcity is a big thing. So always have lots of leads, and it knocks out the scarcity. Okay? So obviously we do that. I'm going to cover that in one of the other ones here. But we have a way where you don't have to have a scarcity mentality. If you have leads like me, I'm not worried about it because, like I told you, I've got 11 leads sitting on my desk, and they're not 11 phone calls. This is where a VA has already spoken to them once or twice or 3 times, and they're like waiting for me to do like the closing call and actually go out and look at the house.
Wow.
2 of them are follow-ups. One of them, I got a house the other day that somebody just called me and said the keys are at the keys are at the front door. Just go get it. You know what I mean? So it's like I haven't even been there yet, and that was like 2 days ago, and I haven't even driven by it yet. It's
Wow.
like the house is just waiting for me to go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what happens when you don't have scarcity. Okay. Rule number 3 just so happens that they're here and together. Rule number 3, which you guys have heard me say many, 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 many times, but we're going to cover it again, is make offers to motivated sellers. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if it's, we have a little ice cream shop down here that's a local shop called Pralines Ice Cream, right? You go in there, or better yet, when we go to Clinton, there's Emma's getting the mic.
I was just gonna let you know that Pralines has actually closed down recently.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
the ice cream shop that's in Durham that I go by.
The one we just went to?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one we just went to on the
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went. No, that's not closed down. No.
Oh, the one in
Yeah, the one in
Wallingford's
Wallingford's
closed.
closed down.
There are too many people
I'm
in
babbling
line there.
because Pralines shut down. So my point is this: I went over there. I stopped by there the other day, and there had to be 50 people in front of the line. When you go up to the counter, the girl says, "How can I help you?" And I say, "I'd like to have blah 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 blah." There was no scarcity there. All I had to do was be 80 degrees and warm, and the ice cream shop got full.
The environment has to be right.
In that particular case, yeah.
Right.
But they know that, and they run their business around that. Okay, so
That's all.
so all I'm saying is the girl at the window makes the offer to the motivated seller.
Yes.
What would you like? I'd like a banana split, right? And what does she get? Money,
Bananas. Yeah.
right? It's no different. Any business is this way. You're this way with your guitar business. You're this way with your rental
Management.
properties, management properties. Every business is this way. If you make offers to motivated sellers, you will make money. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So the big takeaway here on making offers to motivated sellers before I move away, and this sounds simple. This is the problem with maxims. Is they're basic laws, and you're like, oh, that sounds simple. I already know that. And all I did was just state it in words. It's like, I already knew that. Well, that's the point of a maxim, because it's a universal truth. And all I'm doing is stating it.
Right.
What we're doing that's different here is we're putting them all in one book for an investor. So you can go back and you can use it as a reference, and you can reread it when things are not going well. You can go through and just read the book and just reincarnate yourself or re-energize yourself, like, oh, I stopped doing this or I stopped doing that. They're all going to be in one place.
Yeah. Just go
They're,
back.
they're also different. Like, whatever happened today, you read those, you'll get a new take on
Right.
it. Like the thing about only talk to motivated sellers. Here's an example of how you use that people don't think about. How many people make a phone call and they just badger this person to do the deal when they're not interested?
Right.
Don't waste your time.
So
Right.
that's what my point is.
Move on.
Exactly what I was just going to say
Yeah.
right now, Peter. So don't sell people what they aren't buying.
Right. Now, some people do need some education, but you'll know they'll be asking questions.
Right.
You know, you don't want to feel like you're selling them.
So don't sell people what they
Educate.
are not
Exactly.
buying.
But educate if people are wanting education.
Right. So
Yeah, don't waste your time. It'll break your heart. Keep going. You'll find the guy.
at the end of the day, if they're not buying, they're not buying, they're not buying. That's it. So at the end of the day, if your person is not going to sell to you, they're just not going to sell to you.
Yeah.
Okay. But now to Naomi's point is, if you enlighten them, in other words, bring them up the scale and show them how the process is going to go, and you educate them, it's actually called a consultative sale. You will get much further. I mean, I've gotten at least a handful of phone calls in the last several weeks on people that I've done presentations for before and that are now looking for either advice or want me to make another offer.
I brought one today from several months ago. Called me, texted me again.
Nice.
35% of your deals will come from that. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Rule number 6. This is interesting. Attract what you can do, not what you want. Attract
That
what
is
you can
interesting.
do, not what you want. Okay? If you don't have hard money, you don't have private money, you don't have your own money, then why go attract those deals? Why are you on the MLS trying to buy a property that needs all three of those?
Yeah. You had a couple we took through a house just for sample from one of the meetups. So you want to come see what it's like? Yeah. And they, oh, I really want to get into this, and had nothing.
Right.
I want to do that. Well, why do you want to do that? Oh, I see it on television. Like, no.
Right.
Why start something you can't finish, that you can't even start? No.
So Peter did it because Peter had me, but Peter knew nothing about renovations. So if he didn't have me to work with,
Right.
then it would be, I mean, it's difficult already, but he's going through a tremendous learning curve with renovations. I mean, there's just certain things. He'll just call me up. He's like, I have no idea. I'm like so not in the right pond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just like, and which is cool because he knows that.
You know to ask rather
Right.
than just like,
So if you don't know how to do renovations, then why are you buying houses that need renovations? Why are you attracting those houses?
right.
If you don't have a dream team, then why are you on the MLS trying to buy houses that require all the rules that we went over?
Right.
If you don't have a 700 credit score, then why are you trying to pay cash for a house? You know what I mean? So go after the deals that you can do until you can get up to the speed where you can do the other ones, which is why I promote doing lease options, and the whole how to buy real estate without a loan is all about just that. Attract the deals that you can do, which is the punchline of today's show, because like what we said before, to be a creative investor, that's how you would need to do it, right? I got to tell you right now, in fact, I think it's one of the rules I'm going to cover, is if you can't buy if you can't buy houses broke, you can't buy houses with money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it means, is you have to be creative, because at the end of the day, this is very, very profound, very, very profound, because I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to say it again, and then we'll continue, okay? Leverage your mind, not your wallet.
It's very profound.
That's good.
Yeah.
Leverage your mind, not your wallet. So learn how to do these creative deals we're talking about, and learn how to negotiate, you know, or whatever it is you want to call it. Learn how to deal with people, learn how to solve problems, and you already know how to do a majority of it. Problem is there's so much chatter out there, and there's so much information, right, that it's hard to see. I heard something the other day, Peter, that I'm going to use. It probably was Ben Siedel, because I've been listening to a lot of Ben Siedel stuff. So let's just get it off the chart. Ben Siedel is actually the one that enticed me to make this rule book, because he made one. So I stole the idea from him. It's not my idea. I don't want credit for it. We talk about that in the book. Okay, he's an amazing guy. He's a copywriter. So if you're interested in copywriting, then go to bensiedel.com and get on his monthly newsletter, and you'll be floored. He's just got amazing stuff. Okay. Lost my train of thought. Yeah.
What was he
okay.
saying?
We're talking about Ben
Yeah.
Siegel and the
Ben
rule
Siedel,
book that he inspired you to
SETTLE,
do.
Yeah. It'll come back to
Well,
me.
you just did the rule of leverage your mind, not your wallet.
Yeah. Well,
There
when
we
it
go.
pops back
Yeah,
in my
that's
head,
what we
I'll
were
come back.
speaking about.
All right,
yes.
so let's move on, because we're not going to deal with Bill's memory today. So that was number 6. So let's go to number 8. Rule number 8. Okay. The more effective you are, the more respect you get. The more effective you are, the more respect you get.
That's true. It
Yeah.
also ties in with leveraging your mind
Yeah.
rather than your energy and your money. You really need to work smart,
Right.
not hard.
Completely. So the fastest way, and we've talked about this before on other shows, the fastest way to build trust, to build rapport, and I'm reading a book right now on copywriting that he's talking about building rapport, and I'm like, no, you missed it. Because the fastest way to build rapport is this way, and only this way. It is a basic law in our society as human beings. Make sure your words match your action. So if I sit in Naomi saying, hey, no, Naomi, I'm going to buy you lunch today at 1 o'clock, then what do I need to do?
You better buy her lunch at 1 o'clock.
I'll give you a classic example. I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. But I was at I go to this networking meeting I've been part of for years, and every year we have a Christmas party and we have a summer picnic. So last night I went to the summer picnic. So there's a girl there that was taking pictures.
Yeah.
So normally I do all the Facebook postings and I do all that stuff for the group. It's a kind of a volunteer thing that I do, right? So instead of me taking pictures, because she had some pretty good pictures, I went over to her and said, "Hey, could you send those pictures to me?" You know. She goes, "Yeah, I'll send them to you." So a few minutes later, I checked my phone. I'm like, "They're not there." She saw me checking my phone. She goes, "I'll send them to you when I get home last night." And when I get home tonight, and that was last night. I haven't gotten the pictures.
Wow.
So, what is that? And she's a banker.
Wow.
So what does that? What does
Well,
that
that
tell me?
explains everything.
I mean, I was already on the cusp of. I think that she's kind of a bullshitter, anyways. But that
Yeah.
just nailed it. So,
Yeah.
what did that do for trust factor for me and her now?
Strike two.
Exactly.
So, am I going to want to refer her as a reference? I mean, she
Mhm.
seems really good, but is it superficial?
Right.
Is it fake? You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's a classic example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right. I remember when I was raising my kids, it was a big to do for me because I have 2 daughters, and I used to just tell them all the time, "Look, don't listen."
Right.
You know, make sure that their words match their actions.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you're doing a deal, when you're doing a deal, and you leave the house, the best thing you could do is give the seller 1 or 2 things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, "I'm going to do these 1 or 2 things." When you go back, I'll give you an example. I'm there in a house on a Sunday, and I say to them, "Okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to call your bank and get a payoff. I need you to call taxman and find out how much the taxes are. I need you to call your insurance guy and find out how much the insurance is." Right? I call him on Monday.
Yeah.
And find out, "Oh, I haven't done it yet. I'm working." So what does that tell you? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it tells a whole story, and that means a lot. If you're gonna live with somebody for a while, 2, 4, 5, 7 years, that means a lot. You know, are they going to keep their agreements? Now, it doesn't mean you don't do the deal. No, it just means that you tighten it up real good with paperwork and make sure that when they don't, it's very clear they know they didn't and they adjust it, not you. Okay?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to give an example in regards to, people following through on their words. I'm hiring a couple guys right now.
Yep.
And so, things will look so good on the resume. And then I'll test them, just with even simple communication. And I'll tell them, "Okay, do this at this time and do that
Right.
time." And then I watch and see what they do. And if they do it, then it's like, okay. And my manager, he'll say, "Okay, should I call up this guy and start him?" I said, "No, he didn't even respond to this." So it's so powerful, what you say and your
Back it up.
actions backing it up
Yep.
shows tremendously how you are as a person.
Yep. And it builds
So,
respect. So
Right.
so that's what rule number 8 is: the more effective you are, the more respect you get.
Exactly.
So let's move on. Rule number 24. Let me see here.
Chosen at random.
Yeah, well, it was they're kind of pertaining to today's show. That's
Okay.
why I skipped
You
around.
picked. Yeah. Okay.
You ready, Peter? I don't know if we should tell them this. We might have to tell them this in the emergency room of the hospital.
Oh my
Okay,
word! And you're
have the
releasing this on air?
Yeah.
Maybe I
So
should read
if
it
you're
just to make sure.
driving right now, pull
Pull
over.
over.
Yeah.
Get the
If
paddles.
you're working right now, sit down. Okay.
If you're near a defibrillator, go sit next to
maybe
it.
you should-
Exactly.
Maybe you should have
If
a
you're-
girl just kind of like, okay, which one is this again? 20 what?
24.
24.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Common people go nowhere. First thing is you can't follow the herd because that doesn't work. It never has.
She's reading my notes.
If you are doing what most common people are doing, you will get what most common people get.
A common life.
Yes. Yes. Do not be comfortable.
So it took
Always
me.
be pushing the envelope.
It took me forever to learn. There's certain people in my life. One of them is my mother. I'll publicly announce that. One of them is my mother. There's a few other people that if they tell me that won't work,
You know it.
I'm like, it's absolutely gonna
For sure
freaking
gonna
work.
work,
I
yeah.
gotta push hard because if I do opposite of what they say, then I'm opposite the herd. That's a Dan Kennedy thing too, by the way. That's
Yeah.
a Dan Kennedy thing.
There's a lot to be said for,
Right? So one of the things that we do is when we're making offers, because the mafia guys, the real estate mafia guys, how many offers do they make?
I don't know.
Well, when you have a client, because you're a realtor and they're
Right.
trying to buy a house,
Right.
how many offers they make?
A lot of offers. I don't know. Like maybe
No, Naomi.
I'm not
I mean,
understanding.
so if you have a buy, if you're selling a house, you're
Oh,
representing
the real
somebody.
estate. Well, like
and
one.
you have a
maybe
buyer.
two.
Yeah, you have a buyer, right?
Right.
And they say, I want to buy this house.
Yes.
How many offers do they present to the seller?
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. My apologies. I misunderstood.
You're
I
good. You're good.
envisioned actually something completely different.
So when you're making offers, make more than one offer. Now, you don't make more than one offer at a time. You go through and you settle on, okay, can we do a subject to deal? And you go through the whole gamut and say, okay. And then I didn't even know I did this, and Peter brought it out to me, but it's like all of a sudden I like, how about we do this? Like it's a new idea. Or maybe you brought it up to me. I think it was you.
I brought it. I was like, yeah.
Like it's like,
No, it was me. No, we both see that.
so it's like,
You're
how
doing
about
it.
this idea? And I pretend like it's a brand new thing that just
Yes.
popped into my head.
Yes.
Right? I don't
It's
even
presentation.
Yeah, it's just the way the presentation's done, right? Point is that you if you're in sales for any amount of time and you have some idea of what it's like to actually work with a person, you will realize that no's are the best thing you can get.
Oh yeah.
No's are the best
'Cause
things you
it
can get.
refines what they're looking for.
Yeah. So
Refines,
it just gives you the roadmap of where you need to be. So if you do a slot deal, they say no, and you do a subject to, they say no, then you do a lease option, right? So what you're doing is pre-qualifying them or weeding out what they don't want to do.
Right. Or even better, get into their world
Right.
before you even give the offer. I mean, if you can. Sometimes you can't.
Well, you should find out why. You should know if you're
Right.
talking about one offer by the end why it's not good
Right.
and have a better deal. Like they need this then,
Right.
and you can do something. Well,
And it
is
guides
this what
the
you
next
need?
next
I've,
deal.
I've
Yeah.
seen you ask questions like, "Let me get this straight. Is this the problem you're trying to solve, or is this what you're trying to do?" Like, no, what is it? This? What is it? And, oh, in that case, we can do such and such.
And if you state it back to them,
That was really big when I saw you do
Right.
that. I'm thinking like, most of you like, I wonder what I should understand about this person. Like you're trying to trick yourself or them, or just trying to magically know. And you ask them.
right?
You find out what it is, and
Exactly.
you present it back. Is it this? Did I say it right?
Because
Did I
sometimes
get
they'll
it
say
right?
no,
Right.
and then I'll be like, okay, well, what is it?
Yeah.
And they'll just give it to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Hand it to me on a silver platter. Okay.
Yeah.
Have
Good.
them make you the offer.
So, when you're making offers, especially in multiple offer situations, you have to stand out. So this is what I was talking about before. This is the Ben Seidel thing I was talking about. I just can't pop back into my head because it happened here too. Okay. He said that Dan Kennedy said, he said, she said,
That his mother said.
yeah.
Told him when he was a boy.
A good analogy of marketing, and it's a very good analogy here, is don't jump up and down in the ocean to get attention. Jump up and down in a puddle. And it's a great analogy. So here's the point that I want to make is when you're making an offer on the MLS, you're jumping up and down in the ocean and you're not getting noticed. But if you did some direct mail or you call for sale by owners like we tell you to do, you're jumping up and down in the puddle. And you're getting noticed
Right.
because you're the only person in the puddle. Or there's not many people in the puddle because it's a puddle. And that's what their deal is in the sea of real estate. Their house is just a puddle.
Oh, you look like a bigger fish then, don't you?
Yeah. Right? So just be careful. We talked about that earlier on who you're going to go look for the deals that you think you want to do, right? Or at least get in those right arenas, right? And then you'll get their attention and they'll want to hear what you have to say. Okay? So common people go nowhere. So don't be common. Learn the 7 ways that we buy and sell real estate, which are on flippinghousesforrookies.com. Go learn what they are. Learn how to make the offers. Learn, which I'm going to go over before we leave. Okay? Which I better hurry up because we only got 54 minutes left. Okay? Rule number 27.
54 left.
No, we're at 54. We only got 5 minutes left. Rule number 27. The last one, and then I'm not going to do the other ones. Okay?
57.
We're on rule number 27.
27.
Whatever I said was wrong. this is right. Rule number 27.
27.
We're at 54 minutes in the podcast. We only have 6 minutes left.
5.
There you go. The
All right.
only way left to make you rich. The only way left to make you rich. You have to know these 3 things in every deal to become rich. Money now, money monthly, money later. Okay? If you evaluate a deal, you need to take a look at where's the money now, where's the money monthly, where's the money later. And when you do that, you will start to see things open up. Okay?
Yep.
So those are some of the rules that we have. They have rules. We're making our rules now, Peter. We're putting a stake in the ground.
Not
And
following the
really,
herd.
the rules have always been there. It's
Yeah.
just a thing of defining
We're just
them.
clarifying
That's
them.
all.
Yep.
We're not making up something new. They've always been there. It's
Right.
just, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Ready? At the end of the day, here's what you're going to do. Let's just make it real simple. I like to be simple. Number 1, call or for sale by owner using my script, which, by the way, I am here to announce nobody knows this other than Emma. I have just released an amazing new tool. Emma so graciously built me a specific website just for this. It's got its own membership portal. It's got its own videos, everything.
Wow, Bill.
What I did is I actually, because I'm having questions and I'm just tired of it, so I'm going to fix it. Right? I'm tired of people badgering me for the same question over and over again. So I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to put it over here and say, go look at this.
Mm-hmm.
The how to buy real estate without a loan is the big course. There's over 36 videos in there. Okay, it's the whole gamut. It's how to do the business. I know I'm not even going to go there because there are so many testimonials from people doing that course within days finding properties. Like, I mean, just last week, a $300,000 piece of property got found, was bought for $105,000. $180,000 property got bought for $77,000. $260,000 property got bought for $110,000. Those are just from
All
last
great
week.
deals.
Just
All
last week.
great deals.
Okay, from people in the course, so it works. Okay, so what Emma did, which was a really bright idea, I'm completely giving her credit because it was her idea, is we took the beginning modules of how to do deal hunting out of the course. Well, we left them in the course, but we allow you to have access to them. Just the beginning modules of how to find
To
a
get
deal.
going.
So where I had been giving them the script, say, here's the script, go do it.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, we
Well,
did.
you think it's easy,
Yeah. Well, it is easy, but
but not till you
Others
get there.
don't, yeah.
Well, not till you get there.
So what we did is for $17. I'm sorry. Is it $17? Yeah, $17, which we're like Q&A and should
17.
we?
But I
should
don't
we-
care what it is. I got $17. I want it. I don't care
For
what it is.
$17, you're going to get five of the videos, or a couple of the two of the modules, 5 of the videos on how to find leads, right? How we find them, where you find them, I go over how to use the script, right? It's all in there. On top of, I did 2 phone calls. I did 1 phone call to a prospect, so you can hear me making that call, so you
With
know
a
it's the
brand
right
new
one.
person.
And the second phone call is to a suspect. So you can hear me making both calls. You can actually hear, because one of the things I notice with my students is once they hear a prospect, they go,
You never go
oh
back.
my God, you never turn back.
Right.
Until that
Right.
first time when you hear them, you don't know what they are. I could talk till I'm blue in the face. It's kind of like teaching you how to have sex. Yeah, it's on the internet. I can have everybody talk about it. I have all my friends tell you what it's like. Until you actually do it, you have no idea what we're talking about. You don't know how it feels. You don't know what it's like. You just don't know. And that's the way it is with a prospect. When you hear a prospect. So you hear me doing a prospect, and you hear me doing a suspect. And on top of that, we put my case study in there. So you have a place where you can go actually watch me do an entire deal. Emma and I recorded a deal I did. And Naomi and I did the deal, actually. And every step I recorded a 2 or 3 minute or 4 minute video. Like, here's what I just did. All it does is tell you the step. It doesn't explain it. That's what the course is for. But the step is exactly what I did, and you can go through in 37 minutes. You can watch an entire deal being done, so you know all the steps.
Which is so powerful.
Yeah, which is real powerful. So you can find that at flippinghousesforrookies.com/deal hunting. Right? So if you've downloaded the script, which is flippinghousesforrookies.com/FSBO script, which is FSBO, FSBO script, you can now go and download this membership portal for $17. Okay? It's not the end all be all. You're not going to learn everything about a transaction, but you will find a deal. You will find a deal. And then you'll come back to me and want to know how to do that deal, and you'll be more enticed to want to buy the bigger course, because now you have a deal and you can pay your education
As it
with the
goes
deal.
along,
With
rather
the deal.
than all in one.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting those first responses of positive responses from people to give you the confidence that, geez, maybe I can do this. I mean,
Right.
it really works. They're not just
Right.
talking. Well, it
And
happens
that's what
every
Emma-
day.
That's
but
what
you
Emma's
have,
saying.
Right.
Yeah,
Is you have confidence that this works.
It's a great idea.
yeah, I heard her say that.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't on mic.
Yeah.
I'm forwarding Emma's. Yeah, but good job. That was the point, because I remember me when I first started doing it. I mean, I didn't question it, but I just had to go through the motions. I've talked on phones before with business wise, but to see it actually happen, it's like, oh boy. And then it was like 10 days, 2 weeks. We were in a house looking at one.
Right.
Do we buy it? Of course not. But we're looking. It's the first step.
So big conversation in the office on how much we should charge. I picked $17. I pulled it from a very important place, right out of my ass. So there you go.
That's a very
So
important place.
that's a very important place. Okay.
Well, you said 27 and I said 7, so we met in the middle
Exactly.
and
It
said
was
17.
negotiating. That was
7
Emma
is
negotiating
usually a
skills.
good.
Okay.
25 is way too much to make that much money.
So
7 is
start-
not.
So
wow.
start. Well, it's worth much more than that, but I don't know how long it's going to stay like that. So if you're going to do that, and anyways, so start with call it for sale by owner. There's no reason, there's no barriers on doing that anymore. Not only do I give you the script, but for $17, I give you training to show you how to do it, and there is no barriers. Absolutely no barriers. Okay.
And just do it to practice, and then
Yeah.
one of them will work.
Yeah.
Just do it for stupid practice, and if you're really scared, call Seattle.
Good.
I'm serious. Call Seattle names.
Oh yeah, called out of state names. Yeah.
Yeah, call England. I don't care. Call somebody else. Call somebody just for practice. That you don't care what happens. I am serious. My first calls were just to practice, and I hope they didn't work. They just want to see what it was like, and then the third one, you want to see the house.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
So just practice, and then one will fall in your lap,
Yeah.
and you'll be shocked.
All right,
Just get up
step
off the
number
floor.
2. Find out if they are willing to let you make payments until you can pay them in full. So that's step 2. So when you're talking to them, and the script will do this for you, find out if they are willing to make payments until you can pay them in full. Okay? Step 3, go look at the house. Make sure it's not dysfunctional, meaning that, you have to like go through the garage to get to the kitchen, or like go through the bathroom to get to the refrigerator, or anything like that. Mostly it's go through a bedroom to get to another bedroom.
Or a
go
bathroom to
through
get
a
to a
bathroom
bedroom.
to get to the
which is-
bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. In other words, the layout is dysfunctional, okay?
Why do you build them like that?
Yeah, well, old farmhouses. So go look at a house, make sure it's not dysfunctional, and it's pretty enough to sell, okay? Unless you're a contractor or a renovator and you want to do work, then you can, like the rule we talked about before, go find houses you can do instead of houses you want to do. Then that's it. Then just follow that rule, okay? But in most cases, you want to look for houses that don't need work, okay, or less than $5,000, because you can get that money back in deposit money. All right, and then number 4, probably the most important part of the show, and it's at the end, and I'm going to rattle it off, but it is what it is, okay? So make an offer. So how do you make an offer, right? So we've had 107 shows so far talking about making offers and how to do this. So I'm going to simplify it. So make an offer, and here's how you do it. When you're in the house, first thing you do, and follow this sequence. Do not skip steps. Do not go ahead of yourself. Do not move on to number 2 when you're on number 1 until it's done. If you do, it will not work. And most people are doing this, That's why it's not working. Okay, they're skipping ahead. So first thing you do is you negotiate the price of the option agreement or the price of the house. And if you do it with an option agreement, then once you negotiate what the price is, so say Naomi's got a house for sale for $200, and however I negotiate, we actually use the cost to sell worksheet to do the
Right.
negotiating, but
Right.
you don't have to do that. You could just negotiate. Suppose we land on $180,000. We negotiate, we land on $180,000. So I say to her, so I'll pay you $180,000, Naomi. Is that correct? At that point, we're not going to do this yet because we're not done. At that point, we can write an option agreement I can write an option agreement to Naomi, give her $100 to consummate the deal, and we got a transaction.
Right. Right.
And that's all you need to do. Okay. Number 2, negotiate how much the payments will be, and make sure your buyer. What do I have here? Hang on a second. I can't read my own writing. So just make sure your buyer will accept it. Okay.
The seller or the
I'm sorry, the seller. Yeah,
The
yeah.
seller.
I got confused with the writing. So let
Yeah,
me go back. Let me back up. So number 2, negotiate how much the payment will be, and then just make sure that it's going to cover the expenses of the property, and the buyer is willing to accept that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's more to this. I just want you to understand, and in about 2 seconds, I'm going to tell you where you can find that too. All right. So number 1, we're going to negotiate the price, how much we're going to pay for the house.
The overall ultimate price.
Yeah, the value of the house,
Yeah.
right? Number 2, we're going to negotiate how much the payments are that we're going to pay monthly.
Right.
Number 3, we're going to negotiate how long we need to make the payments for and how much time we have to pay them in full. So do we have 2 years, we have 4 years, we have 6 years, we have 9 years? How long will they let us go before we have to pay it in full?
Right.
You negotiate, that's making offers. You negotiate those 3 things, and I don't care if you're a babbling idiot, if you're a freaking orangutan, you can do this.
Hey, orangutans are smart.
Clint Eastwood, remember? Left hook, ride, remember?
Yeah,
I
sure.
love that show.
Yeah, every
Just
which
saw
way.
it recently.
Every which way but loose.
Yeah. I didn't know the name of the show, but I love Clint Eastwood. So, negotiate the price of the house, how much you're going to pay. And by the way, you're going to pay that with your buyer's money. So you're going to go find a buyer that will either pay a little bit more than what you're paying or at least as much as
So
you're
you're
going to pay.
talking about an option purchase.
You're
So-
just talking in general. It
Yeah.
doesn't it could be owner financing, it could
Right.
be options, it could be a lease option, it could be any of that. Okay.
Exactly.
The point is they're willing to wait, they're willing to let you make payments until you can pay them off. Okay? Negotiate how much the payments are, negotiate how long they are. Now, if you want an actual checklist on how to do this, go to flippinghouses.com. I'm giving that to you again. flippinghousesforrookies.com /quick start checklist. Right, Em? Quick start. Oh, just quick start. Okay. So let me do it again. So you go to flippinghouses for rookies go ahead, Pete. You
Quick
do it.
start.
Yeah. flippinghouses4rookies.com /quick start. And there's a checklist there.
Yay.
Yeah, I did it after 3 tries. So I jumped ahead in my mind. So go to flippinghouses4rookies.com /quick start. The other thing I'd like you to do is if you enjoy our podcasts in wrapping up here, please go to Flipping Houses for Rookies /podcast and give us a review. The
us
reviews have
know.
been stagnant lately. I haven't been asking for them. I would like to get them so we can get up in iTunes, get some traction in iTunes and get some help. So I don't care if you hate us or if you like us. Actually, the hate ones are good because we've made adjustments because of a few of them, right? So go to flippinghouses4rookies.com /podcast. Okay? So I think that's it. We went 8 minutes over.
8 minutes of extra value.
Extra value, that's right. So
All right.
we will be posting, we will be getting the book done fairly soon. It'll be a few more weeks, but we will continue to talk about the rules in further podcasts so we can at least give you examples of what they're like and you can understand. And then when it's time, you can get them all in one book. Okay? With that said,
Over and out.
Sayonara.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest real estate topics on the planet with Bill and Pete. If you want to continue learning how to buy and sell real estate without money or credit, head over to flippinghouses.club for some cutting-edge real estate wealth tools. Or contact us at info@flippinghouses.club.